G'day everybody, how you going today? It is so good to see you. I do hope that you are super well. Today we are shooting on the Z6 and on the 50mm 1.2, and doesn't it look creamy in the background? Yes it does. What an exciting day for Nikon this is. We've got another new lens for 2021. It's one that's been talked about as a development announcement, and now it has been announced that it will be arriving on the 30th of September. And there it is right there. It's the 40mm f2 for Z-mount. Now, of course, for Z-mount means it can go on a Z50 or a ZFC and be a 60mm equivalent lens, or it can go on your Z6, your Z7, and so on, and be a 40mm lens. The announcement is out, it's global, it's coming soon. Let me tell you a little bit about this lens and what I think we have in store. Well, the 40mm, it's almost here. It's going to be in our hands on the 30th of September. Who knows how many copies they've made. If I was Nikon, I would have made somewhere between 10 and 50,000 of them. Let's hope it's something like that number. I will be putting an order in for one right now, hopefully getting in the queue. Here in Australia, it's $449, which that makes it a very reasonable price. I think that'll make it in US dollars somewhere between $299 and $350 USD before taxes. I think that's a good price for the type of lens that it is. Now, it sits very happily between the 35mm 1.8 and the 50mm 1.8, much cheaper than both of those lenses, but in a way, it can achieve pretty much what both of those lenses can achieve. So this is a really interesting product from Nikon. It's the sort of lens that you can pop on the front of any of your Z cameras. It's only 45mm long and it only weighs 170 grams. So this is a great walk around and travel sort of lens that's absolutely going to fit anybody's use case. Now, I think what's super impressive about this lens at its price point and where it's fitting in the range is it's an f2, which is not very far removed from the f1.8s, which we've seen with all of the other primes. That means our depth of field is near on similar to what we see from those 1.8s, as well as the light gathering capabilities. So that's awesome for this size and this price point. The aperture is going to give us great soft depth of field, and it has a 9-blade aperture. Now, in regards to people who might use this lens for video, and I think it's a great lens, I was actually near on vlogging with my 35 earlier today before this news dropped. 40 might be a bit of a stretch for my arm, but you never know, we might be able to do it. But from a video perspective, Nikon are stating that this lens is near on, if not silent, so you will not hear any noise from the STM motor. Now, this is a new version of the STM motor, which is super responsive, so we are expecting very fast focus capabilities from this lens. Nikon are stating that this has a new high torque stepping motor to run the focus system, so we should be expecting very fast and very accurate focus. And to quote Nikon, they're saying that it is near on silent and it is blazingly fast. Well, blazingly is very fast, so let's hope the marketing matches reality. And of course, you still have a focusing ring on the lens, but that can be used for other things like aperture, ISO control, or exposure compensation. It's something I love about these rings is that they are completely user customizable. And of course, this lens has Nikon's usual level of dust and water resistance. So here it is, the 40mm. We've got the 28mm, well, a version of it. We've got the ZFC version of the 28mm, and now we have the 40mm. Both of those two lenses were announced, I think something like back in April of this year, April, May, June, can't remember, back a bit. Both of them now out or just about out. But two different versions. One, we have the special edition, the ZFC edition, and now we have the standard edition of the 40mm. Please let me know in the poll, which the link is just down below, would you be interested in the 40mm f2? Yes or no? As simple as that. I would love to know your thoughts. I'm just wondering if this is the sort of lens that you'd love to have on the front of your, say, Z6 or Z7. You're going out for some time with the family or a walk or doing a little bit of adventuring, but you want to keep it light because photography is maybe going to happen, not definitely going to happen. This is exactly where this sort of lens fits in for me, is that you can keep things small and super light, but still have a high quality object to be able to get the job done. And that is super exciting. I'm hoping to have a copy of this lens in the next couple of days. I do look forward to showing you everything I possibly can about it. In regards to our lockdown and me being able to get more exciting shots, there's a very, very good chance that in the next few days, we're actually going to get an easing of restrictions, and that will occur absolutely perfectly with the arrival of this lens, this preview copy of this lens. It's great to see Nikon get this announcement out. It's a very busy time in the camera industry. As of watching this, Canon has just done a massive drop as well with their new camera and lenses. There is a lot going on. It's a very exciting time. And as somebody wrote to me in the comments below, they said to me, why does it seem like so much is going on at the moment when this industry is in contraction? Well, look, it's an interesting question. I think one of the biggest things from my perspective is certainly from 10 years ago, the photographic world has been in contraction, and the desire to have stills cameras has been in contraction. But an area of the world that has grown, and of course stills camera manufacturers have moved very much into this space, mostly with the advent of mirrorless cameras, is the motion picture, the video capturing part of the industry. I think a lot more people are capturing video. The world is so much more video centric now in 2021 than it was in, say, 2009 and 10, when the stills industry was at its absolute peak. So I think what we're seeing here is that the video industry, the growth in the video industry, is making up for some of the losses in the stills industry, and thus keeping the players that are left today very busy vying for our attention and vying for our dollars. I also think mirrorless, once you get all your massive startup R&D out of the way, they are per unit cheaper objects to make than SLRs, which have more moving parts with their flapping screens and so on. And we do look to be heading to a world where we may indeed remove shutters altogether. That's something that's talked about a lot. The possibility of no shutters because we get a global shutter, which ultimately is an electronic global shutter. So with a few different moons aligning, I think we're getting a little bit of a perfect storm, which is keeping this industry buoyant. It's certainly fun right now, and we're very, very much Nikon looking forward to the Z9, to the 400mm that we think is coming very soon, and we would love to see some of the longer telephoto zoom lenses. The 100 to 400, the 200 to 600. There are so many people excited to see those lenses. Please, Nikon, let us know if any of those are going to be coming anytime soon. Please let me know in the comments below, and as I said, there's the poll. What do you think about the 40mm f2? It's a very affordable lens. I think it's going to be an absolute hit, because I think it's the sort of lens that just a lot of people will put in their bag because it's small, it's light, and it's affordable. Thus, it'll sell well. Let's hope they went more towards the 50,000 end of the spectrum rather than the 10,000 in making these. All right, I look forward to chatting in the comments. Absolutely fantastic to see you. If this is your first time here, I would love to see you again, so please do subscribe. Please share and please like. Don't forget the merch, channel memberships, allows us to stay independent. I'll see you very soon. There's more news coming. All right, bye for now.